According to statistics from the National Institute on Aging, as many as 6 out of 10 men over the age of 60 are quietly experiencing changes in vitality, hormones, and sleep. Yet, most do not truly understand the underlying cause. Have you ever wondered why your body starts to feel tired, reacts more slowly, or why you feel like you are no longer yourself? In truth, aging is not the end of vitality. It is simply a stage when the body needs to be listened to and cared for in the right way, and sometimes the answer comes from a familiar herb found right in your kitchen: cloves. Few people realize that this small spice holds valuable natural compounds that may support blood flow, hormones, nerves, and sleep in a gentle and natural way. If you are over 60, take a few minutes to watch this video until the end. It may change the way you take care of your health every day. What country are you watching from? Leave a comment below. And do not forget to subscribe so you will not miss the next helpful insights. The first benefit is enhancing blood circulation and awakening vitality. There is a little known truth. Blood circulation is not only about heart health or blood pressure, it is the life force that nourishes the entire body, especially for men over the age of 60. When blood does not reach where it is needed, you may feel drained, slow to react, or even experience a vague sense of dullness without knowing why. This is not simply a decline caused by age. It is the body's quiet way of reminding you that the inner flow needs to be awakened. For more than 30 years working with older men, Dr. Moit Kara, a specialist in urology and male hormones, shared this insight. Most of the problems I see in patients begin with the blood vessels. When the blood starts flowing again, the magic begins. And surprisingly, cloves, a familiar kitchen spice, may be the key that unlocks that flow. Inside each small clove bud lies a powerful compound called eugenol. Eugenol has been shown to be a natural vasodilator. It helps soften the blood vessels, increase elasticity, and guide blood to the areas where the body needs it most. A study published by the National Center for Biotechnology Information found that eugenol may significantly improve endothelial function, the inner lining of blood vessels, which in turn supports the transport of oxygen and nutrients throughout the body. George, a 67-year-old former U.S. Navy sailor, was one of the remarkable cases. He visited Dr. Kara feeling exhausted, insecure, and mentally weighed down. After adding clove tea to his morning routine for 3 weeks, he returned to the clinic with a bright sparkle in his eyes. "I don't know what this feeling is called," he said, "but something inside me has come back to life." That is the quiet strength of awakened blood flow, bringing with it energy, vitality, and a long-lost sense of confidence. The second benefit is rebuilding nitric oxide, the forgotten physiological signal. After the age of 60, many men still have strength and emotions, yet they often feel something is missing. The body wants to respond, but the signal seems to get blocked along the way. That is when nitric oxide, a small yet vital molecule, begins to decline. Few people know that nitric oxide is the gate opening signal in the circulatory system. It tells the blood vessels to relax, allowing blood to flow naturally and at the right time. When nitric oxide levels drop, which is common among older men, the blood may still be there, but it is not delivered where it is needed in time. This leads to a sluggish feeling, slower reactions, and a sense of disconnection. Tom, a 72-year-old retired electrician, once called Dr. Kara with a short but deeply thoughtful question. "I've heard of nitric oxide But is my body still making it? The question left the doctor silent for a few seconds, because that is a question many people should have asked much earlier. The good news is the body can still regenerate nitric oxide if given the right support. And once again, cloves carry the quiet mission of restoration. Rich in powerful antioxidants, cloves help clear out the interference inside the body, the very disturbances that prevent nitric oxide from working effectively. A study published in the Phytotherapy Research Journal found that compounds in cloves may naturally and sustainably boost nitric oxide production. When Tom began drinking clove tea each morning and made a few small dietary adjustments, he said after just a few weeks, "I don't just feel stronger, I feel like I'm reconnecting with myself." The third benefit is balancing male hormones, protecting the energy source of aging. There are changes within the body that happen quietly without clear signs, yet they make a man feel as if he is slowly drifting away from part of who he is. That is when male hormones, also known as testosterone, begin to decline silently. Not everyone notices this change right away. At first, it may simply feel like fatigue, a loss of motivation, or a subtle lack of focus and drive. But over time, this hormonal drop can affect mood, sleep, and how the body responds to everyday stimuli. Richard, 65 years old, and a former high school principal, shared with Dr. Cara that he felt like a flashlight with fading batteries, the light slowly dimming without a clear reason. He was eating well, resting regularly, yet something inside no longer felt like himself. After tests and a full checkup, the doctor suggested a simple new habit: drinking clove tea in the evening. The reason is that cloves contain powerful antioxidants that help protect Leydig cells in the testes, the very cells responsible for producing male hormones. When these cells become inflamed or age prematurely, natural testosterone levels begin to drop. A study from Harvard Medical School, led by Dr. Abraham Morgentaler, showed that herbal extracts such as those from cloves may gently stimulate the body's own ability to produce hormones, especially when combined with a zinc-rich diet and light physical activity. After more than 3 weeks, Richard returned with a more confident stride, brighter eyes, and a quiet smile as he said, "I don't need to be young again. I just want to feel alive in my own body." And that feeling is slowly returning each day. The fourth benefit is supporting a healthy prostate. The prostate is a small organ, but it plays a vital role in men's health, especially after the age of 60. When we are younger, we rarely pay attention to its existence. But over time, this gland begins to change, often enlarging, which puts pressure on the bladder and urethra. This can lead to issues like frequent nighttime urination, weak urine flow, the feeling of incomplete emptying, or a vague discomfort around the lower abdomen. Gerald, a 66-year-old former firefighter, came to see Dr. Cara with signs of fatigue. He shared that he was waking up 4 to 5 times every night just to urinate. He could not sleep, and the constant disruption was wearing on his nerves. He feared something more serious might be happening inside his body. After ruling out major medical conditions, the doctor suggested a small change: drink clove tea in the evening before bed and add a small amount of clove powder to his meals. It sounded simple, but it was not without reason. In modern medicine, research from the American Urological Association shows that mild chronic inflammation and oxidative stress are 2 contributing factors in prostate enlargement. Cloves contain eugenol and powerful antioxidants that help soothe prostate tissue, reduce inflammation, and protect cells from damage. After a month, Gerald returned with a sense of relief. I still wake up at night, he said, but only once or twice now. And I can fall back asleep more easily. I feel like I've regained a sense of peace. When the prostate is cared for properly, not only does the urinary system improve, but the overall quality of life begins to return in the most natural way. The fifth benefit is reducing chronic inflammation in sensitive tissues. There are feelings that are hard to describe. They are not sharp pain, not entirely clear, yet they make a man feel constantly uneasy in his own body. This could be a sign of chronic inflammation in the sensitive tissues, something many people do not recognize in time. After the age of 60, tissues around the prostate and delicate areas are often affected by aging. Oxidative stress and poor circulation. When these factors combine, they create a low-grade, persistent inflammatory state. This can lead to dull aches, pressure, or a weakened physical response when the body needs to function. Alain, a 68-year-old veteran carpenter, rarely complained about his health. But over the past few months, he had been feeling discomfort in his lower abdomen. Medical tests found no disease, and all lab results were normal. But Alan knew something was not right. After a consultation, Dr. Kara explained that it was likely a form of mild, prolonged inflammation in the sensitive tissues. He recommended that Alan try drinking clove tea daily as a natural form of support. The reason is that cloves contain eugenol, a compound known to calm irritated tissues, reduce cellular inflammation, and help restore balance to delicate areas. This allows the body to gradually return to a more comfortable state without relying on medication. According to a report by the National Institute on Aging in the United States, natural anti-inflammatory compounds such as eugenol, when used consistently, may noticeably improve body comfort within 3 to 4 weeks. Alan later returned and said that he did not notice a sudden change, but day by day, he felt as if his body was being released from a fog. When inflammation fades, the feeling of being alive begins to return. The sixth benefit is reawakening sensitivity and body awareness. There is something few people talk about: the fading sense of connection with one's own body. You may still function, still perform familiar movements, but the feeling behind them seems distant. It is as if you are present, yet not fully living in each moment. This is not just a physical issue. It is a sign of reduced nerve sensitivity, a phenomenon commonly seen after the age of 60. As we grow older, the sensory nervous system is increasingly affected by poor circulation, oxidative stress, chronic low-grade inflammation, and the side effects of certain medications. As a result, the nerve endings respond more slowly. They no longer fully transmit sensations, making physical contact feel dull or incomplete. Harold, a 71-year-old, once told the doctor that he could still feel his body, but it was as if he were standing behind a foggy glass, not clear, not whole. What Harold did not know was that cloves may support the restoration of sensory perception by increasing blood flow and oxygen delivery to peripheral nerves, especially in the tissues around the lower abdomen. The doctor recommended combining morning clove tea with diluted natural massage oil made from clove essential oil, gently massaging this around the lower abdomen and inner thighs. Areas rich in nerve endings related to sensation could help stimulate awareness. After about 4 weeks, Harold described the change not in numbers, but in feelings. He said he felt more present, that every touch became more vivid, and above all, there was a gentle sense of comfort spreading throughout his body. Sensation returned, not with noise or fanfare, but quietly, enough to awaken a part of himself he thought had gone silent. The seventh benefit is rekindling desire. There are men who are still in good health who still love their partners deeply, yet quietly wonder why the feeling of wanting closeness has slowly faded. There is no conflict, no clear illness, only a silence that seems to rise from within. Many believe it is simply age, but in reality, the decline in desire is not inevitable. It is a sign that the mind and body are gradually losing their natural harmony. Désir in a man does not come from the body alone. It is also rooted in sensation, in confidence, in hormonal signals, and in emotional state. When natural hormones decrease, when sleep is shallow, when blood flow slows down, and when nerves respond sluggishly, the body gradually disconnects from signals of stimulation, and desire quietly fades with them. Victor, 69 years old, a devoted husband who always cared for his wife, confided in the doctor that he no longer felt anything, even though his heart remained full of love. The doctor did not prescribe medication. Instead, he suggested that Victor drink clove tea every evening and completely turn off all electronic devices after dinner, creating a quiet space. Combined with the active compounds in cloves, helps calm the nervous system and supports the production of dopamine, a neurotransmitter linked to positive emotions and motivation. After more than a month, Victor shared that he not only wanted to be close again, but that it felt natural, not forced. True desire does not need to be pushed. It only needs the mind to begin listening again and the body to be cared for in the right way. The eighth benefit is improving sleep. Quality sleep is the key that allows the body to recover each night, yet it is often the first thing many people lose as they enter older age. Many men over 60 struggle with light sleep, waking up in the middle of the night or rising early and still feeling tired. This may seem minor, but it is a crucial link in the decline of vitality, hormones, and mental clarity. When the body experiences long-term sleep deprivation, it produces more cortisol, the stress hormone, while also reducing testosterone levels and disrupting circulation. Samuel, a 74-year-old former sports coach, came into the clinic looking physically strong, but his voice carried exhaustion. He shared that he had no serious illness, yet every morning he woke up feeling drained. The doctor suggested a simple practice drink clove tea in the evening, about 30 minutes before bedtime. Cloves contain natural compounds that help calm the nervous system, relax the body, and regulate brain waves, allowing the body to enter a restful state. According to the National Institute on Aging in the United States, using warming herbs like cloves may improve sleep in older adults without causing dependence or unwanted side effects. After 3 weeks, Samuel said the biggest change was not in the number of hours he slept, but in how he felt upon waking, light in the body and clear in the mind. When sleep returns, the body's entire internal system begins to restore itself naturally. The ninth benefit is restoring overall function without medication. There is an important truth that many people overlook. The human body operates as a deeply interconnected system. When one part begins to struggle, other parts are affected in quiet but noticeable ways. After the age of 60, decline rarely comes from a single cause. Instead, it is the result of misalignment between circulation, the nervous system, hormones, and sleep. When these internal systems no longer work in harmony, vitality begins to fade. But that does not mean the body cannot recover. In fact, if given the right support, healing can take place naturally, gently, And in a lasting way, cloves are one of the ingredients that may help support this process, with compounds that calm the nervous system, support sleep, balance hormones, and improve circulation. This small spice creates a combined effect, touching many important systems at once. When used regularly through tea, cooking, or diluted massage oil, cloves may help restore the body's natural biological rhythm. No medication, no intense intervention, just small daily habits that help the body remember how it once thrived, once responded, and once lived fully. When recovery begins at the root, the results bring long-term, self-driven change. The 10th benefit is helping a man feel like himself again. Not everyone says it out loud, but many older men have, at some point, quietly asked themselves a very real question. Am I still the man I used to be? That question does not come from a single major event. It rises from small changes that build up over time. One day, you notice your body no longer reacts as quickly as it once did. Another day, you feel tired for longer after doing things that used to be easy. Then, you begin to pull back from conversations. Emotions grow quiet. Your eyes lose a bit of their light, and your sleep becomes shorter. It is not an instant loss. It is a slow fading of identity. The very sense that once made you feel strong, clear, and fully present. Charles, 73 years old, and a retired engineer, once told the doctor that he was not sad, not sick, but felt as if he was slowly disappearing, as if a part of him was quietly leaving his life. The doctor did not prescribe anything. He made no promises of quick change. He simply advised Charles to start with a cup of clove tea each morning, a few weekly massages using diluted clove essential oil, and a few quiet minutes each day, not to return to youth, but to give the body time to remember itself. 2 months later, Charles came back with a different look in his eyes. He said nothing special had happened, but he felt clearer, lighter, and more engaged in everything he did. Renewal does not arrive with noise. It comes through very small, very quiet, yet deeply meaningful movements. And that is what cloves can help awaken in a man, not to make him young again, but to help him feel fully himself, calm, whole, and full of life. After all that has been shared, the most important point is not how many active compounds cloves contain or how many scientific studies have confirmed their effects. What truly matters is whether you are ready to give your body a chance to recover naturally, gently, and on your own terms. Through the 10 benefits of cloves, one thing becomes clear. Cloves do not just touch one part of men's health. They reach across a chain of connected systems, from circulation, nerves, and sleep, to hormones, emotions, and the very strength to live fully. There is no change that happens overnight. There is no magic. But if you begin with one small step, your body will respond. A cup of clove tea each morning, a quiet evening without screens, a few minutes of gentle massage around the lower abdomen to help bring back blood flow and sensation. This is not a treatment. It is a journey to reawaken the life force that has always been within every man. Remember, you do not need to chase youth. What you need is to feel alive, present, and in control at any age. And sometimes it is the simplest things, like cloves, that can become the spark to awaken an energy that has been asleep for far too long. If you found today's content helpful, do not forget to subscribe to this channel. We will continue sharing practical guidance on nutrition, movement, and herbs designed especially for health in later life. Have you ever used cloves in your meals or as tea? Leave a comment below and share your experience. Good health in later years does not depend on complicated solutions. It begins with small, consistent habits. Starting today,